It's 14th of January 24, Tuesday, and I'm looking at another excellent poll from Stats for Lefties on X. I mean, their politics are the opposite of mine, but although I used to be left until I realised what was happening in one issue. And anyway, I've got this. They've based it on a YouGov poll, and they've estimated what they think how the North East constituencies will go in England. And they're basically saying Reform will win 14 seats. They say there's about 27 seats there. Reform will win 14. Labour will win 9, and that's down 17. Reform's up 14. And Conservatives will win 4, and that's up 3. So that means Labour used to have 17, 26 of the seats. And Conservatives had the other 1 seat. That's how it was. So Labour had 26 of the seats, and they're going to be really wiped out. It's going to be 9. And this is how all working class areas should be voting, and every area, I mean, you can call the likes of Newcastle, all these provincial cities, including Scotland, Scottish Government, Welsh Government, they're all sanctuary cities for the third world, basically. And the change, I don't think people would even recognise Newcastle now, basically. You would think you were in some sort of UN conference to do with, I don't know, anything you want to think of to do with the third world, really. So they've absolutely, I mean, Newcastle's been changing over 30, 40 years, but over the last 5 years under Boris Johnson, it's totally, I'm not even sure how many native Newcastle Geordies there are now, say in Newcastle, 60% or something, I don't even know. Anyway, it's absolutely fantastic to see natives have finally got a message here. If this is correct, I think it will actually be even more. I think Labour will have even less when it comes to 2029. But I don't think the government will last that long, because even though they get so many seats, it was so flimsy. I think they get less voters than Jeremy Corbyn in 2019. So they've really not get any backing at all. But what would annoy me if it's things that they don't like the winter fuel allowance, the scrapping of the winter fuel allowance. That's just a symbolic thing. I mean, on the main issue, we're talking about anarchy, I think. Never tried before, as Keir Starmer called it in November, an experiment, an open border experiment. He's certainly changed his tune since August, since he called the traditional voters of Rotherham, the native Rotherham Labour voters, mums, dads, kids, he called them the far right the Buston far right EDL, who had disbanded 10 years ago. So, yeah. So this is absolutely fantastic news. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, the same thing's happening in North Yorkshire. I think this is it, finally, the big change at last. The North East will shortly be a Labour-free zone, absolutely. They've totally destroyed Newcastle, really. Everywhere, provincial towns. Everywhere where Labour were the sanctuary cities. And as long as it's only about the one issue to do with what Sadiq Khan thinks it's going to make us a utopia, as long as it's that issue, because maybe you're a bit anxious about it or whatever. But if it's to do with the fuel allowance and things like that, that's just silly. Or even NHS or whatever. So the Stats for Left is definitely worth following. It's the opposite politics of myself. Well, when I say that, They've just departed from Novara Media. They had a partnership. I wonder why that was about. Personally, looking at stats for lefties, it's such a useful site. Novara Media is so useless that I'm wondering if they just get fed up, you know. It's just weird, it's holding us back. And it's interesting to see in Scotland, the SNP led by, see, this is the Scots, because the native Scots are so nice. They make up about 72% of the population, I think. The last poll in 2021, the last census, they were 77%. So, and we've just had 3 bumper years, the 3 Boris and Rishi years, which were the biggest ever. So it's probably down at 70% now. Yeah, so the SNP, they're showing they're rejecting Labour, but they're not real. Although Reform are up there now. 15% of the general election, now it's 8% in Scotland. 2 years ago you couldn't even select a Reform in a YouGov poll probably, or they were in the other section, so that's really good to see. Tories down 1. I think Scotland and Ireland are going to be the last to change. Wales seems to have got the message. The Welsh, well done to the Welsh natives. Because I think we're heading for anarchy, you know, that's my opinion. I just get that feeling. Just see what else Stats for Left is saying today. I mean, it is it is silly that Scottish natives are going from Labour to SNP and Labour back again, you know. It is silly. You need to start voting Reform. You need to do an Overton window shift on the one issue that matters. The issue that I think is going to take us to anarchy, although Sadiq Khan thinks it's going to make us utopia. I mean, in Leicester, the council call themselves the first city that's a minority majority, and what they mean by that is a global south majority, and that's going to be the fate for all the provincial cities, but everywhere. London's already went, actually, and Birmingham. They're all global south majority, or will become. So, this is definitely an excellent thing to follow from the left, because they're making these little constituency estimates up, which the other ones don't do, and the graphs are beautiful as well, and the info is fantastic, even if it is an estimate from polls. So well done. This is from yesterday, I think. Oh well, actually it's today. Labour 26%, Reform 25%. Fantastic. Reform have just really are matching Labour now, and to become the biggest party. And when you look at that, I mean, to be a governing party at 25% is ridiculous, you know. I mean, I think Tony Blair get 40%, Thatcher get 42%, 44%. So, yeah, here's a poll from yesterday. And there, Stats for Left, this is estimating that Labour would have 226 seats, Reform would be 141, Tories 130, Lib Dems 77, Greens 4, SNP 37. That might still be enough for the left to just make a government. You've got to have about 325 seats. But, yeah. So, yeah, look out for Stats for Lefties on X, especially these sort of polls. And great news for, I've got no interest in Reform at all, apart from being a single issue protest vote. They're far too soft. I think in 5 or 10 years' time, female voters of the left will say, Nigel, you're far too. Female native voters of the left will say, Nigel, you're far too soft on this. We need a complete freeze, and you need to maybe look at other things as well. I mean, I think in Germany at the moment, the ADL are talking about they're looking at remigration, you know, because you're talking about anarchy, or if you think it's going to go bad. And as Keir Starmer says, it's an open borders experiment, you know, so he's given permission to say that. Okay, bye for now.